Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here and you're watching the detailed camera review of the new smartphone from iQOO in India, the iQOO 3. So the iQOO 3 comes with a quad camera setup with a 48 megapixel primary camera and also a 16 megapixel selfie camera. So let's dive deep into the camera to see how it performs. In terms of the camera hardware, it sports a quad rear camera with 48 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 and a Sony IMX582 sensor. You also get a 13 megapixel telephoto lens with 20x digital zoom, and then there is a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and a fourth 2 megapixel depth sensor. There is also an LED flash included. The front camera is a 16 megapixel shooter with f2.4 aperture, and now let's find out how the camera performs. Looking at the video quality, the iQOO 3 can record videos in 1080p at 30 fps with electronic image stabilization, and the footage looks quite good and the stabilization is also pretty good. The sharpness levels are quite good, the colors are spot on, and there's absolutely no saturation issues. The phone also supports 1080p at 60 fps, and there is no stabilization offered for 1080p 60 fps and 4K, which is quite a downside for a flagship device. The phone also comes with anti-shake stabilization mode, which does a pretty impressive job. The phone also packs a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and the video quality is quite good. So this is the 4K Ultra HD camera sample taken with the iQOO 3. So 4K does not have stabilization enabled, while the 1080p footage has stabilization, but the clarity looks quite good. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity is, and also the audio recording from the 4K Ultra HD sample on the iQOO 3. So this is the super anti-shake video recording taken using the iQOO 3. So you can see that this is extremely stabilized footage, and even the clarity of the video looks good. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity looks, and also the audio output from the super stabilized mode on the iQOO 3. So this is the ultra wide angle camera sample taken with the iQOO 3. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is, and also the audio output from the ultra wide angle camera, and this is also stabilized footage available. Moving on to the photos. The daylight shots taken with the 48 megapixel camera came out well. The important thing to note is the color reproduction, which is not very accurate, but most of the cases it is closer to natural colors and does a good job. But in few images, the sky colors and the greenery around has a bit of boosted colors. The details are good since we have already seen this 48 megapixel shooter on other phones. The sharpness levels are also good. There is good amount of details even when you zoom into the pictures. There is also auto HDR mode available, and the dynamic range is good. Another important feature of the iQOO 3 is a 13 megapixel telephoto lens, which is capable of up to 20x digital zoom. The 2x optical zoom and the 5x hybrid zoom are very much usable, while the 20x digital zoom is just to show off the details and not great in quality. The 13 megapixel ultra wide angle shots came out pretty good. While it is not as good as the primary camera, iQOO has done a good job in fixing distortions in the image, and the sharpness levels are also pretty good. The close-up shots taken with the camera was good, and it has good details. But here again, few images the colors were a bit saturated. There is also dedicated macro mode, and here again the images came out pretty well, but a bit of saturation issues here as well. Moving to portrait shots, we felt the portraits are quite good, but it seems to overdo in processing, resulting in a more dramatic pictures. Also, the over sharpening of skin tones is evident here unless you turn on the beauty mode. The edge detection is quite good, and we did not see any misses here. Now next, let's move on to the low light captures taken with the iQOO 3. It came out well in adequately lit conditions. There is noise reduction in place, and in extreme low light images the details are quite okay, but the noise is on the higher side for a flagship smartphone. But the details aren't bad though. The sharpness levels could have been tad better. There is night mode on offer, which definitely brings in more details and sharpness level, but still we feel the night shots should have been better on the iQOO 3 since it's of a flagship category. Moving on to the selfie camera. The 16 megapixel shooter can shoot some really good selfies with good details, sharpness levels and colors. The dynamic range is also pretty good. The skin tones are good, and so is the sharpness levels. We turned off the beauty mode since we like selfies without the beauty mode. Since selfies are more of a personal choice, you can judge based on the clarity. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the iQOO 3. So this is the 1080p footage. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the iQOO 3's front facing selfie camera. So summing up, the iQOO 3 camera performance is definitely good in parts. While it has a good video recording abilities, it misses out on stabilization in 4K. The daylight captures came out well, but there is a need for consistent color reproduction. The ultra-wide angle photos were good along with the macro captures. One area where iQOO 3 needs improvement is the low light abilities, which are in class leading for a flagship device. Most of these issues can be fixed via software updates, and we expect iQOO to be working on this. So that is a detailed camera review of the iQOO 3. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.